Hi there. Thanks for joining me again. Today I'd like to talk to you about offenses and bitterness. Now, this is a class that can apply to young people, middle aged people, older people. We all get offended about things. People say things that hurt our feelings or make us angry. And some people are prone to harboring bad feelings for a long period of time. I have met people that have held bitternesses in their hearts for decades. And I do know that sometimes bitternesses and the harboring of bitternesses causes disease, even affects our physical health. So it should be something that you would want to deal with and get it out of your life. So sometimes it's because we're just unable to let go of the past that we have these bitternesses. Things were said and done, and we just can't let it go. And as we age, you're looking back over a bigger past. And so there are multiple things that can have accrued over a number of years that cause us to have bitter feelings. I want to tell you a story this morning, and hopefully, this will speak to your heart a little bit about bitterness and what have you. Quite a number of years ago, my husband and I were pastoring a church on Whidbey Island in Washington State. And after church on one Sunday morning, I was visiting with various people in the auditorium, and I happened to notice a young lady come in the front door of the building, and she was talking to someone over there, and they were pointing in my direction. And it wasn't long till she walked over towards me and asked me if I was Roberta Cargill. I said yes, and I had been recommended to her because she needed some counsel. And I could tell by the expression on her face that she was deeply, deeply troubled about something. So I invited her to my office, and once we were there, I asked her to just tell me what was going on. We both sat down, but she didn't sit very long. She got up and began to pace back and forth in my office. And she told me a story of how her husband told her one day that he didn't love her anymore and that he did not want to be married anymore. She was shocked. There had been no indication in their relationship that he was feeling this way. And then she said, "Well, what about your children?" And he said to her, "I guess because my love for you isn't what it was, I no longer feel the same about the children." And she was quite appalled and heartbroken, to say the least. He suggested that she go and stay with her folks who lived here on Whidbey Island, and she lived over on the mainland. And so he suggested that she come and spend some time with them, and that way he could be in the house and so forth. And he could go on about his business, which she had cultivated, obviously. So she did, and that's when she heard me and contacted me. So she continued on with her story. She'd gone to her parents, and she'd been there about three or 4 weeks or something like that. And she got a phone call, and it was her husband. He'd had a change of heart. He realized that he'd made a mistake. He missed his wife, and he missed his children. He wanted her to come home. So she hung up the phone, and after talking with him for a few minutes, and that's when she sought my counsel. And she was many things as she walked back and forth in my office, pacing, pacing, pacing. She was enraged. She was heartbroken. She was in disbelief. Uh, all of these many tumultuous things were running through her mind and even affecting her physical body. She was a heartbroken young woman. And so I let her go on and on and on for quite a while. And finally, she was exhausted and she just dropped down in the chair beside me. And I said, okay, I know where you are with all of this. I see that you're hurting. I know that you're devastated. I know that this is a terrible, terrible situation to be in. But what about the children? Your children, if they stay with you and you divorce, will grow up without constant contact with their father. I have seen it happen many times. It can be doable, but it can be very, very hard. It can also be devastating. This would be picture perfect in my mind. If you two could get together and talk and understand where each other were and are and forgive, then you could work things out. It won't be easy. It won't happen overnight. It will take a while. You are the mother in this family. Your first concern needs to be about the children, and then you can work through the other things. If later on there are just irreconcilable issues, then you'll have other options. But I suggest that you give love and peace and joy a chance. We went on to talk for quite a while, and pretty soon she was calmed down and ready to go, and she thanked me for the input, and she went on her way. I prayed for her a lot, thought about her a lot, but I didn't have any contact number for her. That Christmas, I received a Christmas card with a photograph on it. And in that photograph was a family of 4 smiling for the camera with their arms about each other, seeming to be very happy. It gave my heart peace. It made me rejoice a little bit, I admit. About 5 years later, I got another card, and one of her children was graduating from high school. They were together as a family. A few years went by and I received another card. This time, it was her and her husband holding their first grandchild. Happiness and joy written all over their faces. It would have been easier for her to go out of my office, go home and tell her, I do not want to reconcile with you. I do not forgive you. But as a result of her willingness to forgive, she had untold joy with her children, her husband, and her grandchildren. A life that was filled with purpose and with goals reached and love enriched. Forgiveness does a lot. And as you forgive, lo and behold, the bitterness dissipates. Your heart feels lighter. Your joy returns. Now, as just a caution, It doesn't mean that you will not have times when those old feelings will try to encroach. They will come back a little bit, just a little bit, and cause you distress. But just, say a prayer and say, God, take this away from me, lift it off of me. I don't want this in my life. I have forgiven, I've moved on. And He will do that for you. If you hold on to that bitterness, and especially as you age, that bitterness will become a thorn in your side. It will always be there. It will even show up in your demeanor and in your actions towards others, in your responses to situations. So I just challenge you, if and when someone hurts you deeply, reach way down inside and see if you can forgive. Thank you for visiting with me again today, and we'll see you next time. Remember to like and subscribe. Bye bye now.